From the outside looking in, it's easy to think someone's got it all figured out. Because my hair is curled and my cheeks are intentionally flushed, I must not have a care in the world. As if it were expected for my demons to be beautifully pinned upon the chest of my perfect auburn coat, and they assume that if you cannot see it, then it's not really there. Like pain does not exist unless you're bleeding or bruised, but sometimes the most painful demons are the ones they can't even see. So we learn how to smile, how to grin and bear it, because nobody really likes to talk about the tough stuff. Well, I know I don't like to talk about the tough stuff. I have anxiety. I'm worrying all the time, feeling trapped, a constant wall stopping you in your tracks. Then the panic sets in, heart beats fast, cold chills, begin to sweat, my feet and hands go numb, and the inside of my mouth tastes like metal, ringing ears. Everything's too loud. You feel like everyone is watching and witnessing your weakness. Every day is the same. You wish you didn't care, that you didn't feel like this, but it does. And it does for long periods of time. It's like you try to reach out, but you're slowly sinking into a pit of darkness, scrambling for a hand to pull you out of your anxiety's depths. But then you realise no one is listening, and I'm biting the skin around my nails and pulling off a layer of skin from my lips. Some days I feel everything at once, other days I feel nothing at all. I don't know what's worse, drowning beneath the waves or dying from the thirst. It's like you're lost, full of fear, sometimes even so uncomfortable in your own skin that you want to flee, disappear, and turn off the thoughts, the swarming in your head, being followed by a voice that knows all your insecurities and isn't afraid to use them against you. And you try to block it out, but it gets to the point where it's the loudest in the room. The only voice you can hear is the voice of uncertainty, the voice of anxiety. You're unable to enjoy life and live for the moment because you're constantly overthinking and overanalyzing anything and everything. You're nervous about everything. Sometimes there is a reason, sometimes there isn't. And heck, most of the time I don't even know why I'm anxious. I just am. It's like having butterflies in your stomach, but it lasts all day and night. People ask what the scariest part is. The scariest part is not the feeling of loneliness or the dark that fills you despite the looming pain of emptiness. The scariest part is the realization that you have lost yourself completely, sinking in as you lay awake at 2 a.m. because you've lost the ability to sleep and you can't even cry because you are too exhausted from the daily struggle. And the most frustrating part is knowing, as you're freaking out, that the fear is irrational, and there is no need to be freaking out, but lacking the ability and strength to shut down the emotion. You get torn between wanting to tell your friends what's going on in your head and keeping it to yourself. The problem is, being outwardly unhappy, and consistently so, pushes people away. On the other hand, pretending everything is fine feels a bit like poisoning yourself from the inside out, like ignoring who you are and potentially losing yourself. I ask myself what's better, having friends thinking you're melodramatic, seeking attention and pessimistic, or to drown in your own mind. And every time you get that feeling, you try to tell yourself that you are going to be okay because you've been in this place before. You've been this uncomfortable, anxious and scared, and you've survived it. You try and convince yourself that these feelings can't break you, the feeling will pass, and you will laugh at the thought of ever doubting yourself, but whilst you're trying convincing yourself, you can't help but be overwhelmed by the feeling, and you enter the vicious circle once more. Sometimes I want to sit down and cry, sometimes I want to scream. Every day is a struggle, even when I'm at my best. My anxiety is always with me, and alongside that, panic makes sure to tap me on the shoulder at least a couple of times a day. On my good days, I can brush it off. On my bad days, I just want to stay in bed. But I try to tell myself that they are just days, and I know I have plenty more where they came from.